Hey Buddha family, so today's part one of our hibiscus pruning for the winter. We're going to be doing 4 smaller bushes. It's raining outside, so I'm indoors in my PJs all day. How about this little workshop I built myself? Pretty cool, but let's get started. We're going to do the 2 small ones first. So here's our 2 small ones, our first year ones, and I'm going to bring you in so you can actually see where I make these cuts, but these should go pretty quick. So first thing I'm going to touch base on is the buds. Now, sometimes they have these flowers. You can let them expire before you prune this, but I want to get these videos out for you, so I'm going to have to get rid of a lot of flowers. But if you do have these and you want to see them open, you can leave them. First up, hibiscus, being tropical shrubs, they're going to go through changes with the seasonal temperatures and light. So if they have any yellowing leaves like this or any spotted ones, just pick them off. These are shrubs at the end of the day, so they're all just going to shoot out new leaves all throughout the stem, especially where we pick off any bad leaves. And so on this one, I don't like a lot of vegetative at the bottom. It gets too bushy and you can't see what's going on, and that's where disease and bugs congregate. So I'm going to basically just pick off these leaves. Any gross shoots or points I see here. And that's probably good for now. Again, this plant's not huge. And as you can see, there's just 2 stems going. So if I don't do anything, this is just going to be a tall, lanky hibiscus shrub. So when we're pruning, if you're watching any of my other videos, we want to do it right above a leaf node, because that's where a new shoot will come out. So to top this, I can top it right there and have this one come out. I could go 1 node below and go another node below. And again, you get the idea. So I just keep cutting it, and then new shoots will grow out. But this is already long without a lot of shoots, so I'm going to go way back. Right there. And then this one, you can either make the same height. Sometimes if you want a medium one and a taller one, I would snip this one up here. And then this would kind of be a taller one, and this would be a shorter one. But I kind of want them to be even, so, or somewhat even. So that's all that this one took. That's all I'm going to do for now. Then I'll just let the shoots grow out, and I'll have to do more as it goes on, but that's good for now. And now on this one, we got a few more branches to go on. So let's just continue where we left off. I'm going to take the tall ones. So here's a good example. When I zoom in, you can see all the side shoots starting to form, and that's already with this growth point going. So as soon as I get rid of this, these are really going to take over. And so when I'm cutting this, since I already have some side shoots, I'll just be able to cut it right above one. And then here's that side shoot that'll take over. I'm going to go over here, do the same thing. And that's good for these 2. But now when we spin it around, and you can see how there's a lot of open space here. When we spin it around, you can see these guys, there's 3 of them on this side, and they just kind of keep shooting out. And if I don't do anything, basically these are just going to grow really far out this way. So again, same thing, I'm going to take these, snip them back to about the edge of the pot. See, here's a long one right here. And again, I can cut it at each one of these leaves. And if you have any dead flower stems, these are what the flower petals grow off of, and the flowers shrivel and fall off, but the stems stick on. Just clean those up. And there you have it, pretty easy. So this was the 2 smaller ones. Let's do the 2 bigger ones. All right, so you can see this one, obviously a lot more to work with here. So step 1, I'm basically going to take my pruners and go right along the edge of the pot, and anything that goes past that pot, I'm lopping off. You can give yourself a few inches leeway, but let's start there. And as you can see, I got all these flower buds, but they gotta go. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we're just trying to see what we're working with here. So once we get the edges trimmed up, we want to go with the height. All these tall ones are getting too tall they're going to take over and it's going to be all messed up. So we kind of want to just keep them all relatively even with each other. And just like the side shoots, when you cut the tops, you want to go right above a growth point, just like that. And that way there's no dead stems, plenty of new shoots to take over. And that looks pretty good now, but it's still really dense. So let me bring you in and we're gonna basically try to trim out a lot of these weak shoots and roots in here. All right, that should be a little bit of a better angle. But now when we get in here, I wanna keep this clear. So I'm gonna pick off a lot of these weaker shoots, any of these growth points that are along these stems here, because otherwise this is just gonna get really vegetative and messy. So you want to keep this nice and open. A lot of the smaller leaves and stuff, you can usually just rub off with your fingers. Here's a weak little shoot. It's at the bottom. It's not going to do much. The top ones are going to take over and make it weak. So get rid of that one. So even this one right here, it's not super weak, but it's really low and it's already like bending on the pot. So I'm going to take this one out too. It just frees up a lot more space down there. And here's an example. You see these two stems? So I pull the leaves down. So basically these two are crossing paths. They kind of just are folded over on each other. And as they get bigger, they're just gonna rub and scrape with the wind. So I'm gonna wanna get rid of one of these. And since this one is on this side, this one's sending over, I'm just gonna cut it right here. And now it's nice and free. And so that's how it should look. I think we're going to leave this one alone for now, but it's nice and airy at the bottom now. You can see what's going on. And again, these are shrubs. So when you look in here, you can see how much vegetative growth there is. Even on this stem, look at all the shoots popping out. So feel free. We're going to pick some of these off if you need to. You're not going to hurt the plant. Then lastly, you can spin it around in any growth points that didn't need to be cut. We're still going to want to snip them off because that way they'll shoot out and create extra side shoot branches. And all the flowers come on new growth. So the more side shoots we have, the more new growth, the more flowers. That's a wrap for this one. And so the last one we're going to be working on today, yes, she looks a little rough. I left her out for one or two many cold nights. She didn't like that, but she'll be all right. But this one, instead of creating like the bush we did last time, I'm going to pick off a lot of the side shoots and just have a few, maybe like half a dozen major stems come out, and then we'll have some flower clusters on the tops like lollipops. So first thing I need to do is just find some weak stems or find the stronger stems and pick off the other ones. And so when I find like this main one right here, I'm just going to pick off any side shoots. We get to the top, it's a little too tall, so I'm going to snip it here. This one as well. I don't need both, so I'm going to cut all the way down here. Now just this one will take over. But any weak shoots are gone. Like I said, I'm only want 5 or 6 of these. And the ones I do keep, I don't want anything along the bottom for about 10 inches at this height. This one's just never going to work. See how it just came straight out? It's just going to fall down like this. And then you want to think of void spaces. So see over here, we don't have a lot going on. So rather than snip these, I'm going to cut this one a little bit low. Then this one will start to branch out and take over. Same thing with this one. He'll fill out over here. See, this one just kind of shot out. So these are nice thick stems, and this is just very flimsy. It's not gonna fit my look, so we want to get rid of this one. There's another one that shoots low. All of these actually I'm going to take off. Here's one. Can you see how these two cross right here? You know, I don't like that. And since this is kind of the stronger one and this doesn't have much, take this whole one out. And the last one I'll do is this one right here. You'll probably leave this one, but I really want to make it to 5 or so. And there you have this one. It's a lot different. You can see I really just shredded everything and just kept a few of the strongest stalks. I'm going to keep picking all this off so it's nice and open. Won't let anything grow here. And then as these expand and send out their side shoots, hopefully I'll have that lollipop look where I have like the stick, and then you have this cluster of flowers on top. So that's a wrap on hibiscus pruning part 1, your small bushes. We did a couple different designs, techniques, so hopefully you learned something. Up next, we'll be doing the hibiscus topiaries, part 2, which are like the big 4-foot trees. So those will be fun. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you around.